Peter Obi orders Ahmed Bola Tinubu to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Asks Ahmed Bola Tinubu and APC government to always obey the rule of law. Hello guys, you're welcome back to this channel. You know, the unlawful detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is the leader of IPOB, has actually shown that this particular government, this particular APC government, has no regard for rule of law in this country. And we say that we are practicing democracy. Few days ago, we celebrated Democracy Day, and Ahmed Bola Tinubu, came out to tell Nigerians how they have been practicing democracy for over 25 years. How can you say that you are practicing democracy when you cannot even obey the rule of law? Look at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who the court has actually asked to be released. Yet, the previous government led by Muhammadu Buhari detained him unlawfully. And now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually came in power, and we're expecting that the first thing he would have done in order to show his obedience to the rule of law and to start on a clean slate is to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Yet, they went on to detain Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unlawfully. And this goes a long way to show you the tribal bigotry in this particular country and in the government sector. This is a man who is speaking for his people. The same thing that Sunday Igboho did. Sunday Igboho was arrested the same way Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was arrested. Now, Sunday Igboho has been released for how many months now, or even years now, yet Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been detained by DSS just because he is from the southeast. And to show you how wicked and and selfish some of these our southeastern governors are, they have refused to put mouth in this matter. They have refused to say any tangible thing concerning the unlawful arrest and detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu just because of their political ambition. Now, P2B has actually come out to tell Ahmed Bola Tinubu that they have failed to obey the rule of law in this country by detaining Mazi Nnamdi Kanu even against the rule of the court. He also said that there is no reason to keep detaining Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I'm going to share that video with you so that I won't bore you with so many talks. And when we come back, we'll just wrap up the video.
The first primary work of government is security of life and property. It is the foundation in which people can actually live in a nation, because nobody can stay in an insecure place. And it is worrisome what is happening in Nigeria, waking up every day with killings, kidnappings, abductions, and everywhere, which has now made Nigeria one of the most insecure places on the surface of the earth. In fact, it is into a failed nation. And that requires an urgent attention of everybody. In the southeast in particular, again, that's the same situation. As I thank the government for their effort, there's need to do more by all leaders to ensure that we tackle this menace. In the southeast, I urge the various governments, members, I said, while thanking them, to come together as a family. There's need for the governors of the southeast to work as a family to be able to tackle that. I'm saying that from the little experience I had when we were there. It is important. And even checking the harsh economic conditions now, even in development and economic agenda, I want to see the southeast governors work closely more as one. They can do, and I believe they know each other, they can interact. We want to see them come together. We want to see them bring this entire zone together. And I'm preaching the same of other zones. While the federal government has far that overshadows everybody, the various zones should come together. In the southeast in particular, it is very urgent. I'm again saying from my little experience, in which they can call meetings, even meetings at times of those of us who were there before, to come together and interact about a common purpose. This is very important. I don't see anything why is continued detention, quite frankly, especially as the law, the courts have granted him bail. Government must obey the law. Rule of law is an intrinsic asset that we must cherish and live with. And I've said I'm going to discuss with every agitator. And I use continue to play to government to ensure that all those who are in similar conditions are released and discussed with. We're a democratic government. We shouldn't be doing things that are arbitrary and not within the law. I'm against riots. I'm against destruction of government assets. I'm not against peaceful protests. But it must be for reasons, not for interests. Often a time here you see protests being to satisfy a particular interest. It must be properly articulated. There's things that is happening that is against and properly directed. Properly articulated and properly directed. So you don't go, I recall when people were saying they're protesting against police or any other organization of government, and I said to them, no, let's deal with the leadership. If we have good leadership, their agents can be bad. But what happens here is that Nigerians say, oh, our problem is police, our problem is EFCC, our problem is ICPC, our problem is army. No, the problem is leadership. If the leadership is, if the leaders are competent, have the capacity, doing the right thing, the agents will toe in the line. And that is what I want. I want to see these things that are properly organized. I want to see people listening. And I'm using the same opportunity to say, all those who are being held because of, say, NSAS, protests and everything, or because of freedom of speech or journalists, should please be released immediately. We're a democratic country. People have a right under the Constitution to express themselves freely under freedom of speech. They have also rights to peacefully protest, and we must listen to them. We must listen to those who say they are not happy. That's why it is a democratic nation. We should stop acting dictatorial and behaving as if it is not a democratic country. I know we're in a state capture, but then we should act in a manner that shows some decency. We politicians are preoccupied by election. That's not what I'm talking about. How do we reduce the price of food? Our people are dying of hunger. How do we make life conducive for the poor Nigerians? How do we make sure that people earn more money in order to live? How do we pull people out of poverty? That should be our concern, not forming mega party or this. If forming mega party is to be able to provide what I'm saying now, I'm all for it. If it is about state capture so we can start continuing the same consumption, no. But if it's to move it to production, yes.
Now, I believe you're listening to what P2B has actually said. He has called Ahmed Bola Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu and to try to learn how to obey the rule of law in this country. And there is no reason to keep detaining Nnamdi Kanu because he committed no offense. He has committed no atrocity. All he is doing is to speak for his people. And that is because the government of the day has actually failed Nigerians. If the government of the day is performing well, if there is equity and justice and obedience to the rule of law, nobody will come out to be agitating for Biafra and IPOB and all of that. Anyway, I want to stop this video and allow you to drop your comments in the comment section.